Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another top 10 list. This time I'm going to take a look at my top 10 female characters in film. And this is kind of a video response that another YouTuber, Bebop1987, she had sent me a video of her top 10 male characters of all time, which I thought was very interesting. And she does a lot of film reviews. If you haven't checked her channel out, definitely look at it. And I liked the idea, and I said, okay, I'm going to sit down, and I put together my top 10 male characters. And as much as it was I really liked the characters, I really thought, okay, it's got to be the actor that really brings this character to life. And I put a lot of emphasis on the performance of that character in the film. And the male characters weren't all that difficult to put together. They were relatively easy. However, I decided, since I'm going to do the males, I got to take a look at the ladies too. And the top 10 female characters, that was a bit of a challenge. I had to sit and think, and I had to go through movies and look at a few top 100 performance lists and really kind of decide, okay, what characters did I like? You know, which actresses really brought a great performance to those characters and really brought those characters to life. So, after much scrutiny, this is what I came up with. Let's take a look. At number 10, I've got Cate Beckinsale's interpretation of Laurie Quaid from Total Recall, the 2012 version of it. And the reason I picked this, she is a great actress, and I really wrestled with which film of hers I wanted to go with and which character she portrayed, because I really liked her in Underworld. I thought she did a great job, and the vampire character was fun, it was action, but it was Laurie Quaid's twist that I really liked in the fact, and just her deviousness that I liked in this film. And if you've never seen the Total Recall, either Total Recall film, she was played by Sharon Stone in the first one with Schwarzenegger. But the character Laurie is essentially a fake wife, supposedly, that was assigned to Dennis Quaid, to Quaid's character. Douglas Quaid is the name of the character in the Total Recall series. It's his wife. She's sweet and loving, and they've got a great life. And then when he goes to recall, she turns into an agent, basically, set out to kill him. And Sharon Stone's character was okay in the first one. This incarnation makes the character amazing. I mean, she's hot, she's sexy, and when she turns on him, she turns into a lethal killing machine. She's a hardcore, badass bitch cop that nobody really likes on the team, and she is relentless. She is the number 2 bad guy in the film and hunts Quaid down through the movie and nearly takes him out several times. It's just amazing to watch the character, amazing to watch her, and how she goes from such a, like, would be the perfect wife, perfect girlfriend character, and then boom, bitch on wheels, I'm going to eviscerate you. It was amazing. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen the film yet, definitely check it out. Her performance, top notch. Loved this character. They brought something that was an obscure character from the first film to a main bad guy in the reboot. Totally awesome. No pun intended. Ha. Number 9, we're going back to the world of James Bond. And I gotta say, Famke Janssen as Xenia Onatopp. Brilliant character. I love, she's probably my favorite Bond girl of the entire series. She is fantastic. She's one of the bad guys. Famke Janssen, smoking hot. Loved her in the X-Men films. But it's this movie that really kind of shows me what she can do as an actress. Because she's kind of the flirty James Bond chick and the bad guy, but there's more to the character than that. There is something seriously wrong with this character. She's nuts. She's insane. She gets off sexually by killing men. That's not right at all. And she kills them with their legs. She chokes one guy out. She, crushes this guy's ribs and suffocates him with her legs. She starts shooting this gun at people, and I think she's having an orgasm. It's craziness. And that just makes her one of the most interesting Bond villains in the series. And Femke just really pulls it out. Again, no pun intended. At number 8, we've got Christina Ricci playing Wednesday Addams. So we're going to come back to the Addams family again. And this is just one of the greatest female characters that are out there, in my opinion. She's so twisted, so dark, so morbid, so not right, and completely emotionless. It's what if a Vulcan was evil? That's what this little girl is. And Christina Ricci really impresses the hell out of me as a child actress to be able to pull this character off so well. In fact, in the sequel, she steals the show. They really model the sequel around her character and sending her to camp, which that is impressive for a child actress. I mean, there's just nothing I can say bad about that. In fact, I mean, Christina Ricci is a good actress, but unfortunately, I think she hit her best role as Wednesday Addams. I mean, she was okay in Casper. She was okay in Sleepy Hollow. Black Snake Moan was an interesting film. But to me, when I think Christina Ricci, I think Wednesday Addams. She just literally brought this character to life, from the undead, barely. She's just so twisted and dark. You gotta love this character every time she's on the screen, no doubts. And that's why she's in this top 10 list. Number 7 is going to go to Ellen Page as Bolty / Libby from the movie Super. And this is a very underrated film. It's got the guy from The Office, plays Dwight in The Office. He's the main character, and he becomes basically a real-life superhero, I guess. This is a very similar premise to Kick-Ass, and he goes around and starts beating people, bludgeoning people to death, essentially with this, you know, uh, plumber's wrench. And Ellen Page's character, Libby, she runs a comic book store. She's a young woman, runs a comic book shop. I don't know if she owns it, but she definitely runs it. And she figures out this guy is going around as a vigilante, so she wants to hook up with him and become his sidekick. And so she becomes Bolty, his sidekick. And she makes this costume, and there's something not quite right about this character, and it really shows Ellen Page's acting chops. I know her from the X-Men, and she did an okay job as Kitty Pryde. Uh, and she was also in Juno, and she got much acclaim for that role, and it was a good role. But this really shows what she can do, because she starts off kind of this nerdy, cute chick at the comic book shop, figures this guy out, basically blackmails him into becoming his sidekick, and she gets all psyched and weird and geeked out on this, and she's mentally not all there, I don't think, the character is. And she actually ends up raping the superhero. I mean, she turns herself on to the point where she rapes this guy, and then she just goes balls out in attacking these bad guys and really taking it too far at times. And it's just such a great character. Unfortunately, not a lot of people, I don't think, get to see this character, because I don't think a lot of people saw the film. Definitely check it out. She does a great job. The character is probably one of the better ones in the film. Highly entertaining. I think the character steals the show. And her death scene at the end is just jaw-dropping. So definitely cool. That's why this character in the top 10 for sure. Good job, Ellen Page. Number 6 is going to go to Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow, and this character is fantastic. And obviously, based off the Marvel character, I really didn't care for the Marvel character too much. I thought she was just kind of the throw-in character every now and then. She was a bad guy. Captain America converted her to a good guy, brought her into the Avengers in the comics, and she was an assassin. She was a Russian assassin, and Captain America turns her around. Well, in the films, she first shows up in Iron Man 2, and that's probably, well, I wouldn't say that's her best performance because she does a damn good job in Avengers as well. The character's great. Scarlett is smoking hot, sexy as hell, got a great body. They got her on the tight leather, the black, got the red hair, smoking eyes, and she just beats the living crap out of people. But I think, and it really shows the character in Scarlett's acting in the Avengers 2 scenes. At the beginning, where she's being interrogated by these Russians, and she gets the call to bring the Hulk in. She's, playing this, I'm trapped, and I'm getting beat by these guys, and then turns around and wallops the living crap out of them. She's like, hey, hang on a minute, I gotta put you on hold, and just beats these guys while tied up to a chair. Just fantastic. Just showing she was pulling information out of these guys while playing the damsel in distress. And it was brilliant. It was a great turnaround for that kind of character. And she does the same thing to Loki later on in the film. And it's just, it really shows the depth of the character and how well Johansson can portray that. And absolutely amazing. And she's smoking hot. Best ass, best boobs ever on screen. Oh, has to be in the top 10 list. All right, so number 5 is going to go to Naomi Watts in her role as Ann Dawson from King Kong, 2005, I think, the Peter Jackson film. And I absolutely love this. First of all, Naomi Watts is very cute, very attractive lady. I wouldn't say she's the hottest woman around. She can definitely look sexy, but she has more of a cute look to her, a adorable girlfriend kind of vibe to her normally. And she plays a character, Ann Dawson, who's a struggling actress on vaudeville. It's a timepiece film, which was a brilliant move by Jackson to do. And Ann Dawson comes in, and she gets approached by this movie maker who's going to do this action piece on this island, where they end up finding King Kong. And it's just utterly so time period-esque. I can't really explain it. She really makes me believe that her character, she's an actress playing an actress, which is kind of interesting, but it makes me really believe that Naomi Watts is an actress out of time. She really makes me believe she's an actress from the 1930s, and it's just spectacular. The wonder in her eyes. She's really wanting to become something. The character is on this verge of becoming a star, and she's starting to fall for the writer, and she's on this romantic adventure, encounters this grizzly beast, and she's terrified and thrilled at the same time, and it just really draws so much from golden age Hollywood. And I believe that actress is there, and that is really what makes this a spectacular performance and just a wonderful character, a wonderful film character. Absolutely. All right, number 4 is going to Chloe Grace Moretz, I believe is how it's pronounced. She played Hit Girl in the film Kick-Ass. And this was kind of a controversial thing because you had this young lady, this young girl, that was brutally killing people and cussing, heavy, hardcore cussing in an R-rated film, and a lot of people freaked out about that. Well, first of all, she's not as young as what her character was. Her character in the film, I believe, is about 11 years old, and she's a teenager, the actress is. But that being here nor there, I mean, she really pulled it off. I mean, she was so aggressive, and her character was hell-bent on doing what her father wanted and being this hero, and she was trained, it's kind of like Batman and Robin gone a little bit wrong, where she's pushed and pushed and pushed, and her character lives this life, and she's like, I want, she makes this joke of wanting a kitten or ice cream or something for a birthday. In fact, she wanted some kind of assault weapon. It's amusing and at the same time shocking. Like the scene where she goes in dressed as this little schoolgirl and starts blowing these gangsters away. You're just like, what? I mean, great shock and awe for a character. She does a great job of portraying a little girl that's living life normally in this abnormal environment. And it's just absolutely one of the funnest characters that you're going to see on film. And this actress really brings it to life. And I really think we're going to see a lot more of her. She was also in Dark Shadows, Tim Burton's Dark Shadows, and she does a good job in that too. So I'm hoping that we see a bright future for this actress and many more great characters come to life from her, because her debut performance with this character knocks it out of the park. All right. At number 3, I've got Claudia, the vampire child from Interview with a Vampire, based on Anne Rice's novel, portrayed by Kirsten Dunst. And this is kind of her big film debut back in, 94? Absolutely brilliant performance. She is on par with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in this film. She plays a vampire, or a little girl that gets turned into a vampire by Tom Cruise's character, as a gift to Brad Pitt's character. Well, she grows up, but doesn't. And, this is one of those rules any actor would love. A vampire trapped in a child's body. What does that do psychologically to you? And Kirsten really, really brings it. She's vicious. She's vile. She's a predator. And it really, really shows in this film. And she just does such a great job. And I think, much like Christina Ricci, this is probably her best performance, and it was very early on in her career while she was still a child. However, I think she's done a little bit better than Christina, and she was, I believe, in Jumanji, and of course she was in the Spider-Man films and did a decent job in that, really showed off some acting talent there, but not the same caliber as what she did with this role. And she shows her hate and anger to what these vampires have done to her and how she has to live eternally, and she wants to go and explore the world, and she breaks these vampire rules that she didn't know and is so terrified at the end where she goes to die. And it's just a great character and a brilliant performance by a young actress. My number 2 character, I don't know if this really counts as a character or not, because it's based on an actual person, but it's going to go to Cate Blanchett's portrayal of a very young Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator. And she just does a great job. I mean, she's a great-looking woman. She's also in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull as the bad guy, and she does a pretty fun job there. But it was this film, she captured Hepburn so well in the film that it's almost eerie. And it really showed what this actress can do. She was hard, rugged. I mean, Hepburn was not a gentle, fragile thing. She was a hunter and a sportsman, a golfer, and she was a lady, but as aggressive as any guy in Hollywood, and that really comes through in this film. And she had her, relationship with Howard Hughes, and Cate Blanchett truly, truly, like Naomi Watts to me, has shown that she is an actress out of time. I so believed that she could have been an actress of that era, in her portrayal of Hepburn, in that era in Golden Hollywood, and I feel that she's out of time. She was that convincing of the Hepburn character in the film, and that is absolutely why she is number 2 on my list. All right, so my number 1 character, we're going back to the Batman franchise, and specifically the Chris Nolan franchise. Catwoman. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. And this is another actress, in the Nolan franchise, much like Heath Ledger as an actor. I really didn't know much about Anne Hathaway. I'd never seen anything she had done. She was a blow-off actress to me, and I went and seen The Dark Knight Rises, which I do not think is near as good a film as The Dark Knight. However, the performances by Bane, the actor who played Bane, Tom Hardy, and by Anne Hathaway as Catwoman just saved the film for me. They were brilliant, and more so Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Her character was exactly what I picture Catwoman in the comic books. She's out for herself. She's an anti-hero. She's looking to get by. She has her own agenda, but she's not evil. She does care about little people because she is one of the little people. And that really comes around in this character. And the other things that are just so phenomenal are where she goes in, she's acting like this little maid, and her true Selena Kyle personality comes out, jumps out of the window, takes off with the senator, looking all sexy and cute. And then probably one of the best scenes in the film, period, it happens to be hers, where she's selling this thumbprint of Bruce Wayne, and she's kind of hard-nosed and snub and making these deals with these guys, and then she's like, all right, it's about to get crazy in here, and then she just steals a gun, pop, 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 shoots people, she's being a badass, and the instant the cops come in, she screams bloody murder like she's the victim, the damsel in distress, shaking and crying, it's this, just a complete turnaround, 180 degrees, completely different character, screaming, whimpering, crying, and stumbles out, and the instant she's out, bam, she's back to where she was, and then another cop shows up, and she goes back into that mode. It is fantastic. Love the character, love her attitude. She is everything that you would think Catwoman would be: hard ass, taking names, but at the same token, she does have a certain morality. She kind of has this thing for Bruce, and at least for Batman, and it hits on all points, absolutely. And I'm just amazed by Anne's acting ability, highly impressed with it. I walked in with zero expectation for her. I thought she was the absolute worst choice ever. Her character, her performance totally turned me around. I'm a huge fan now. So that's why she's number 1 on my list. So thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. What do you think? Who are your top 10 female characters? Leave a comment. Do a video response. Let's get a video discussion going on this. I think this is a really interesting topic. Thanks to Bebop 1987 for getting me on this kick here. Really cool. Check her stuff out. Take a look at some of my other videos, and look for more stuff in the future. Thanks for watching.